This is going to be a test video to see if it works. I don't know how well this will. I may have to put this thing on some type of, because holding the phone is not always as easy and it's not as steady. So anyway, um, maybe that'll work. Today in kids' church, we went way off book, according to our children's pastor's plan. We let the Holy Spirit guide us through our services because we want our kids to know that, you don't have to stick with what you plan because God always has other plans. So today we were talking about miracles, and it occurred to me about halfway through Pastor Angie's testimony that I had one miracle I was going to talk about, but that really wasn't for me to tell. But so I did tell the one about how my mom and dad met and how I became, me and my brother and sisters became miracles from that. My dad is from West Virginia. My mom is from Arkansas, and they met in California. And how they met was like at not really a nightclub, but it was a place where you could go and drink and eat. And they had a sort of karaoke where my dad was playing the guitar and he was singing. And he and my mom met that night and talked for a long time. And he had a motorcycle, so he took her home on the motorcycle. But back in those days, you didn't wear pants. My mom had on a very long pencil skirt, down below the knees. And so him taking her home on that motorcycle was a hoot. She told me the whole story. And anyway, they didn't get married for a few years, but in the meantime she was working at this Greek restaurant, and she had a very close friend there. And my mom had what is mentioned in the Bible, the lady with the issue of blood. My mom had a hemorrhaging problem, and she had went to the doctor, and he did what he needed to do to try to stop this. And it wasn't working, and her friend that she worked with invited her to this tent revival, and they sat on the back row because she really didn't want to be seen. She didn't want to sit up in the front. So as the God would have it, the evangelist called her out. And this is not a bad thing, this is always a good thing, because God has plans to heal you in the process of all that you are going through. And the doctor had told her that she would never have kids. If she did get pregnant, that she would miscarry. And so the evangelist came all the way back there, and he laid hands on her and prayed for her. And when it was time for her to go back to the doctor, he he told her he didn't understand how it happened, but she had been healed. And so in the meantime, I don't know exactly when that happened, how much time was between that and the thing my dad went through. This was the second miracle. My mom went on to have later on, after they actually got married. A few years later, she had my brother, and then 2 years after that, I was born, and then 2 years after that, my sister, who's passed away, Beth, she was born, and 2 years after that, my baby sister was born. But the second part of this miracle is that my dad was riding his Harley through the mountains in California, and it was raining, and he lost control. He was a bit of a daredevil. I mean, if you're a heart, you are a daredevil. I mean, it's just what it is. It is what it is. They ride side of mountains up in West Virginia. They don't, they just do that because that's who they are, who we are. We don't have fear. But anyway, he lost control, and he went through the thing that's on the side, that little metal thing, guard, and went down the side of the mountain. He spent 6 months in the hospital fighting for his life, but came out of that because God had plans for 4 kids in his life. Now, my baby sister and I have the same dad, but we don't have the same mom, which is okay because I now still have a sister. Our brother and our other sister have passed away, but we have each other, so I'm very thankful for her. So this is such a miracle, because even when she was pregnant with my brother, her body tried to miscarry him, and they put her on complete bed rest, told her she needed to stay off of her feet. She was working at a restaurant, and in the military, um, you just don't get paid uh, enough money. You really don't. I mean, you're on a very tight salary, and that's sad for anyone in the military. But she made it through. She made it through. My brother was born, no complications. And the miracle is that she was able to have children. She had 3 of her own, raised them, birthed them, and raised them. And then my dad coming through such a horrible accident that, he wasn't expected to live, and he did. And I think we don't really realize sometimes the miracles that it takes to get us here, and the miracles that God is doing in us and through us every single day. I mean, there might be little miracles. It might not even seem like a miracle to you, but the very fact that you are here on this earth is a miracle. The very fact that you are right here in this time is a miracle. You're living, you're breathing, you're walking, you're existing in this life. Think about your miracle. My mom was like the woman in the Bible with the issue of blood. It wasn't she knew, the woman in the Bible knew that she had to get to Jesus. But she knew with that crowd that she wouldn't be able to tap him on the shoulder and say, "Hey, pray for me." But she knew that thread hanging off the fringe of the bottom of his garment had some power in it, and she went for that thread. So just know that even if you just go for the thread, God has a miracle for you. Be blessed and have a great day.